allow this fade to push on up. As Cubert know they have a showdown ahead of them. It is Satellite with first blood. It is traded by Maryville. As now they hope to set up a trap for Cubert to walk into. With this Viper wall set up, there's some space being taken. It catches Maryville off guard, and Cubert may just pivot it into B, which means Clork has a lot on his shoulders to stop, and he ignores the duelist, and he'll pay the price, leaving Anj in the dust.
The road to C is paved. They went through B, took down.
As Anj now has a duel ahead of him, and these sheriffs want to be able to rotate all over it.
Oh, caught off in mid though. Wildfire understands the game plan, tucking to try and get a couple picks.
Oh, they did not expect more players like this, and Fire ignites, and Cubert are trying to work the map, and I like that Maryville are ready to step up, take those risks to cut off those rotations. Cubert are going to have to be more aware of these B walkdowns.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see the push out of Anj, the numbers advantage, but for Maryville, they still have those numbers on this C hit. So it's a matter of trying to catch Cubert off guard and obviously taking out Knights, who's probably one of the bigger threats, right? Yeah, as such a young, such a star player, can clutch into his own right.
It's doable for Maryville to pick up their first round, first rifle round, but Knights catches Giza off guard on the walk up. Paranoia out from Knights. Maryville gonna play as a duo. Flash gonna keep Maryville in check. It's Clork and Renz step up quietly as Knights puts the smoke back up to try and isolate that 1v1 against Clork, who steps up the stairs. It's up to Renz to trade. It's not gonna happen. Cubert close it out. And because of that null command, that may not be an option. Now Giza is going to make contact first. First blood, second. Someone has to swing on this guy. Finally, Nismo picks his opportunity. Does get the punish on Giza. Maryville are eating up a lot of time, wanting to wait for that null command out. And it is the Nightfall. But there's an op ready in tree. And Maryville have to push into that. They're going to choose the opposite lane. Maybe not. Cloric right into the sight line. And the defuse will not be getting away. And
the map.
Ooh, Paranoia. Here's Maryville getting aggressive. Renz with first blood traded. Where's the rest of Maryville to show up? And it's them just trying to hold the doorway. At least they silence the duelists for good. No Neons will be able to shine this time, and we're left with a 3 versus 2. And Cubert have the red carpet down. They have their smokes in place for staircase. Giza could get a surprise, and Caillou is going to watch it carefully. Has his back turned and flicks and burns onto Giza and allows that objective to go down. So Cloric, 1 versus 3, and you're spotted by the Prowler. That's really gonna ruin the round for him. Lockdown as soon as you hear that B hit. So Cubert are really trapped at trying to fight through this, and Renz tries to slip past the defenses, and Satellite hopes to keep the op and also not get detained.
I love that they fought for that position, right, for Maryville. The fact that they kept the lockdown alive puts them in such an advantage here. Satellite with just an op. What is he gonna do? Sneaks away! Oh, he pops back in. Wait, can he do this? Satellite, you're insane. 12 seconds. Oh, my God, the smoke came out and Clork had to lock in. And you got snipers that have to push into this, which isn't ideal. Cubert gonna activate some thorns here from Satellite, and Giza gets to take down 1, but Caillou is just louder and he's better. And Maryville also have an Odin coming through the breakable door, and Cubert are just so good at isolating these duels. Maryville just could not synchronize, and they're gonna try and push past this pit because they have a null command from Nismo, but they are gonna open up the Nightfall into B with a Paranoia on top, and no one got hit by that util, so Maryville can try to go into this unobscured. But speaking of that, Omen smokes are just ruining Maryville's synchronicity to get in and try to work as a team against Cubert, who are so united. Now Renz with no HP, left to traverse into the thorns, which you obviously want to wait for. You don't want to die to util, but you'll die to Knights. The Prowlers to mark him close range. Redux, janitor on duty, mops the floor with the rest. There is a response from Maryville. They will go out kicking and screaming in this half, but unfortunately Renz cannot convert enough on these ultimates. The Nightfall will keep Cubert humble, but Maryville need to actually go and teach them a lesson and play off this Nightfall. They just are too scared to push into Cubert, into their sightlines. And with Knights always winning his 1v1s, I'd be worried too.
But Wildfire and Ange gonna do what they can, 2 versus 4, and Wildfire has had multi-kills before, and Ange has also been the angel, the wings under Maryville, but against the firepower, the absolute powerhouse with his duelist. He did get marked by the Haunt, so Maryville gonna take advantage of the space given, and Satellite can't punish and play off his shear that was just procced. So an advantage, a huge one that Maryville can work with. They're using the buddy system well, and Cloric always delivers on the Sheriff, so Nismo's left in the dust.
Nice. Really good pressure applied by Maryville University, taking space, deathballing into the A site, and just grouping up. And honestly, that worked for them, right? They understood that, okay, we are going to be playing on the attack side now of Lotus. Every single site we hit is going to be weaker unless we draw a rotation to us, and unless they gamble stack into it. It's most likely going to be an easy push for us. But Ismo's still alive, still a thorn.
Paranoia. But Satellite is not in a tradable position yet, especially he just got mollied away. So Knights is forced to go 1v1 and doesn't do much. At least Satellite did trade, but now he's left at the very back of the site with 31 HP. He has to let this go.
It's the same sort of concept, right? If Qbert allow Maryville to get set up in this, it might become a harsh reality of breaking in. The difference is they have double initiators for this. Super solid for Qbert. The refreshables give a lot of info for them.
Oh, this is you need to continue winning if you're Maryville, and you had the advantage. It's now gone 2v2, but Qbert, our damage, you're not going to let this Fade get any information off of you as Nismo and Caillou work through the map, through the corner, and off towards Mound. Maryville pick them apart and deny the defuse, so Cloric. Oh. Even Caillou can Prowler through the side door. Maryville are walking into a trap, and they hadn't stepped up quite yet. They have Shelter and Rubble, and Qbert step up, and Maryville maybe try to escape. It's kind of leaving Renz out to fend for himself, but he just barely slips by the shots of Qbert. And Renz has had 2 big rounds back-to-back. 4K last time, a double kill here, but Renz falls. No overdrive to be seen, and Qbert have a chance to come back. Qbert start to surround, now playing off their neon walls. Redux, fantastic shot into Giza. And it's Maryville. They just want to play their lives. They want to play the spike in time, and Wildfire keeps the round alive. Can't say the same about the rest of Maryville. And Maryville, once they decide which site they want, they can just activate the lockdown. But wait a minute, Knights get the surprise on Wildfire. The spike is down. Maryville shouldn't have any problems working back over, but it's a weird start. To trip them up on their pathing. And this is gonna really ruin Maryville if they're not careful. They have not had any good duels yet. And Satellite and Redux are on the prowl, and it's a 13-5 flawless win from Qbert Academy on Maryville's pick. 1v2. He's gonna keep himself humble, but he's gonna give space to Qbert, and a big chance for Giza and Caillou to match up. And Qbert are left with 2 and still 1 objective in mind. Get into the B side. At the back is Cloric. The IPL ready to call. Gets the spike down, but it's Satellite who's gonna quickly try to get the plant down, but now realizing Maryville are around the corner. And still a Paranoia in the hands of Ange. It is gonna make contact with Satellite, and he's right at the front door. And they're just gonna watch this happen in the smoke. Satellite is gonna play hide and seek, and it's deadly. It's about to drop. 1v1 against Wildfire. He wins it. Couple of headshots, 4 HP. Not enough. Satellite hemorrhages, and Maryville take the pistol until they're ready. It's a quick swing from Cloric, and no trade. Redux able to use his smoke well to disappear into the shadows. And well, there's another judge. And it's still Wildfire. And Ange is there to collapse on the rest. And Qbert have to recover the spike. At least there is a smoke in top mid. But not the best util to get to it if you're Qbert. Not even a Paranoia. But hey, pretty solid shots out of Knights. Even through the flash. Just walking on by in front of Giza like that. No respect.
That makes sense, right? Defense-sided map, just hold those corners, wait for the enemy to fall into you, lay down the framework for success. At this point, Satellite has to do it all.
It'd be possible if they collapse, and Okay, they're still defaulting. They're going around mid, but Catwalk presence is there, and Maryville gonna try and shut it down. Wildfire will be still in wine, and he stops that player in A main. Could be wrapping around, so Cubert need to make a move and not stay in the middle of the map. This island will be surrounded there by sharks. Cubert into market. Renz with an important cutoff, and it leaves Redux alone pretty much with the spike. He's gonna toss it to Satellite and just go right towards the site. He has an important 1v1 against Clark, not expecting him to be there. The lockdown invested and easily dismantled as Redux has the clutch with 10 seconds left, and he does a good job of Wildfire want to peek from, put shots into the door. What a quick flick from Wildfire. His position has important 1v1 against Ange, and Ange does dwindle the odds as Cubert just try to create a fortress, and now overdraft the updraft above. Renz tries to get an angle and finds the head of Knights, but Cubert just have better trades. But Clork has a big old gun and has a lot to say to Cubert. Odin, and it's not as good at range and not as good when you're mid-drop. So big heads up for Caillou to give Cubert a chance to get their first offensive round on the board. But can they react well to this double push from Maryville to swing out of tree, out of smoke? Renz looking for target. It's a target-rich environment, but Caillou with 4 with the Odin. Or actually, that was Ange trying to go and support the team. Doesn't commit to it. I guess it's just a lot of trust in the Giza, and how can you not? You just can't doubt what the guy can do. Converts a big triple kill for Maryville. And at 5 bullets as well. What can they do with it? And now it's a trap laid by Maryville. They know this is coming. They throw out the recon. It's a paranoid response from Cubert, but Giza's just better. Nismo Sheriff does some damage, but Cubert are stuck in an island with no spike and no raft, and Caillou just needing a band-aid. And the rest kind of far away from him. Satellite with the Stinger too. This is just not a place you want to brawl with the Stinger. But hey, he finds the back of Cloric. He finds some luck. He's got a 1v2, and the high-low, pretty much the high-low Vandals are going to take him out at mid. And now we get to see what they look like at B main, and it's just Redux swatted like a fly, and Giza's at the back, the ultimate anchor. Does get marked, but wait, KJ Util takes out Clork. That's insane. Giza does what he can and looks for the ace. Ren steals it, and Giza's gonna have a word with him. Got the proactive lockdown, or the preemptive one from Maryville when Clork activates the wall hacks, I guess. The second one for him. Giza assists, and Cubert are left with not much to say, and it's Satellite that's detained. Oh no, not like that. Not like that. Much needed pistol though for Cubert, and Cloric will be farmed easily, and even before the flash comes out. Gonna see that was unassisted, so Cubert gonna converge into this B main hit. Unfortunately, Redux will be out of the fight. He just got paranoid away, and Redux just gets overwhelmed once he gets back into the fray. So Maryville will have to plant with less manpower. And at least they still have Wildfire, but they're not even going to have a chance to set up as soon as the flash does come out. Wildfire does what he can, but gets his ultimate enemy is the reload. And Caillou and Nismo winnable. Redux is hoping to cut them off, though, with the Outlaw, and he's on the hunt. One down, many more to go. It's Cubert. It's a 4 versus 4. Plant going down. Cubert want to prevent it. They get the ping on the other side with the recon, but Caillou doesn't get the heads up he was looking for. And now the cutoff on the flank. Cubert will try to stabilize. Now this player's below him at the distance. And so too much for Redux to handle. He's going to try and use the smoke to isolate away from hell. And Maryville are just going to anchor in the site of just how well they perform here. But you can't forget what Cubert did on Lotus.
No. They basically had the same exact score. It was 11-1 on the half for Cubert Academy as well. And this round isn't completely over. The judge finds only 1. Haven't found 2. There may be a way in for Nismo and Satellite and Redux to work together hand in hand. But unfortunately now I think you're 100% right. You have to be looking ahead. And Sunset is a map that, if I'm not mistaken, Cubert isn't the biggest fan of, but they still know how to play it, right?
They gotta show us they know how to play this map too. And Cubert, I mean, they kind of went into this with a Bucky, and everyone's running with knives.
Crazy.
Everyone's running with knives. Renz has now what, 2 knife kills after the detain on.
Maybe Maryville also saw that match, reads into it a bit.
Oh, well, there's just a death match in the middle of the map, and Cubert has started on offense on all 3 of our maps. but have only converted one of those pistols. So we'll see. And then, you know, if they convert the pistol, they went up 11-1. So I have a sample size of 1. If Keeper win pistol, they win the map. I don't know, but we'll see.
Valorant
They walk into
science.
Giza's, yeah, if they walk into Giza's sightline though, the desk highlighted his impact at just converting a lot of these multi-kills and has single-handedly ruined Cubert's chances on this pistol.
I mean, yeah, now it's a 3v1. It's all up to Satellite with absolutely no utility, and it's going to be raw gunfights, right? If you can catch the timings, it'll work.
Okay, caught Chloric literally lacking. So Satellite gets lucky there. Time on his side too. Redux gonna slide and get the one tap. Nasty. And whoever is on that first pistol has gone up 11-1, but Ange really greedy on that play. Thought he had time to teleport out, and Renz just can't trade. You don't want to both feed into this, but kind of hesitated on that sideline, had ahead, and just kind of swung away. So weird hesitation out of Maryville, and Q are just gonna full benefit from this, and that'll be a free plan.
And all is right in the world. The timeline has reset. Thanos is gone. We managed to get a round 3 that is not converted. We don't have a bonus conversion, not yet at least. We still have Giza and Wildfire with full kit of utility for Wildfire. It's a matter though of a hero play, right? You would need a hero to win this.
We need to call the Avengers though, because I don't know if Giza and Wildfire have it in them. They've been really good defensively when Cuber push into them, but now the tables have turned and Wildfire and Giza have to push into them, and
Last player standing.
kind of got split up a little bit, and now Cuber gets to flawless them. Maryville just hold their corner, and with the Sage Wall up, Nismo is just going to help the team focus down one lane at a time, and Ange is just going to cut down 2. And even no response from Nismo, who could have maybe coughed back at that moment. 3 versus 3, though. Post-plan could ensue, but Kaio's not feeling very safe, and I don't blame him with an Angel lurking in the shadows. But it's trades back and forth. No clear advantage. It's Kaio and Satellite versus the world, and Ange is going to teleport to try and win a 1v1 against players like this. And Ange heads for the ace against Satellite, is denied, and Renz gets the last laugh. Maryville are going to double up on this. Take positions in market, and there's a double flank happening. Maryville have Wildfire and Ange activating, and they just get backstabbed. Satellite takes care of business, and Maryville are left with not as many options to retake, especially when Giza has to push past the Sage Wall that Nismo set up purposefully to leave a gap so that he would walk through it. Here's the camera being activated, and the fault line, the aftershock, and Giza's the one who cleans house. Even with the Viper's Orb activated, Cubert just could not keep themselves safe, and now is a bit of a cutoff, even with the classic from Chloric. 10 seconds left. Cubert are barely going to have time to re-clear towards B, even with this win. Just not going to have time, and should put a stop to this here and market, and Satellite Knight right to just keep this weapon. Hunter's Fury though is going to do all the talking from Chloric, and 2 responding Hunter's Furies trying to cancel each other, but Caillou, well, at least get a target down for the road, and Q-Bird are just trying to brawl through what's left of the site without having a plant in their favor. Plenty of time though to scrap, as Wildfire won't get recon, has no util. No drone for Caillou as well, but with that smoke up, gives a chance for Wildfire to find another angle.
You can wrap around here and pinch together, but it's still rough on the timing.
Wildfire is going to get a surprise here. If Redux turns away, he's going to stay stoic, but Wildfire stays on his head, and Knights is going to do what he can. Can't 180 against the second player. Wildfire 1v1 against Caillou. Who's the better initiator? With the spike still needing to be defused, and Chloric. That's going to hurt. Fault line out, but as soon as they show face, Cubert are able to bite back against them. Rolling Thunder in the route that Cubert usually likes to take around that A-Link. They do get affected, but with the smoke down from Knights, there isn't going to be pressure from Maryville quite yet, so they'll just have to stick around the site and down this A alleyway. A huge recon from Chloric is going to get a heads up on Cubert. not able to access that body that's around the corner, especially with Giza watching it. And Qbert not going to have the util to pressure Maryville back.
It's like the spike is down. We have to protect the body so that they don't res.
Creeping up. Nismo also doesn't want to just bait whoever they're rezzing. That's like the worst stage thing you can do. And, well, better than nothing. Nice. Oh, impacted by the reload. Goes to support the B site. And there's a fight from spawn. Wildfire and Chlorg with the longest rotates ever. Qbert are now stuck into a crossfire. They're going to buy time for the res. Nismo gets Redux back on his feet, while Giza puts Caillou 6 feet under. So this is a very messy round for Qbert to reestablish. Surely, right? Maryville push into this with just the recon, and they'll have to do so without Ange. And Qbert just hold down within the pit. They're not going to extend, play the perimeter. They're going to let Maryville do all the searching, and Satellite is just going to poke his head out every now and then and see what's above water. And it's Chlorg with no chance and really needing to save, and kind of realizing this a bit too late. It does get out just in time, though. And from the skin of their teeth, and usual judge play, and Chlorg kind of gets too antsy. Also, you know, the last pack got him into a bad position, but he didn't have to full commit, and Qbert are just good at baiting them. But Giza could be better at evening up the odds. A good neural theft is information critical for Renz with the triple elbow push. Renz gonna try and concuss, gets pinged, and notices Satellite is on his right, so Renz does not want to be caught by two players. Ange is gonna teleport in. What are we cooking? All right, let's just get this round over with them. Smoked off. Nismo has a 1v1, and Ange doesn't fully peek and hesitates, while the rest of Maryville just use him as a sacrificial goat and just hit the other side.
I mean, hey, they're gonna basically enter for free here. The question is, are these three players going to be enough? Redux has a sheriff, the rest of the Caillou also has a sheriff. There's a couple of bits of utility as well. So it's a matter of just gunfights, honestly, and Wildfire Flash Aftershock combo.
3 versus 5 comeback for Maryville. Extending out through the top, clearing that out. And now it's a full flank from Qbert. Flash out. Ren's first contact brought down to his knees. Some initial damage there, 7 HP. But now Qbert have multiple players in position. Satellite starts to harass from the back. Gets the attention of Chlorg. Wildfire takes care of the front. And it's Nismo and Caillou in a healthy state with good sheriffs. No battle bot on the other side to have fun with. But Redux is just, his presence alone is going to be good pressure. He's going to be walled off, though, potentially. And then you just have Ange and Giza clear through the front side, while the rest of Qbert were trying to pinch with Redux. What a good setup from Maryville to just bunker down and take care of business.
The position is of Nismo and Redux.
Oh, good trade, Redux. Needs Nismo to go and finish up the job, but Maryville's surrounded. And now they get to plant.
And they might know, but it doesn't even matter because they collapse upon them through Link. And I'm loving the adaptations in the mid-round for Maryville.
Much needed win there. It's not over yet, though. As now be Ange sticking an elbow, knowing where this hit's going to be coming from. So Caillou's going to recon in, has a shock bolt to clear some corners. Knights is going to be leading that charge. Taps the spike, gets attention, trying to see where the spam is coming from and react to appropriately. Gonna be tough. Probably need to use that shock bolt to clear that back box, but Giza is in a good power position. He's converted 3. Satellite focuses on 1 at a time, and he only has 1 left. Doesn't even get the defuse halfway, so he's gonna decide to save the rifle. If he can. Oh, he can. They're looking for a corpse, though, to get a neural depth advantage. It's a beautiful flash, but Giza couldn't get the finish. And now Qbert have a real chance, and to try and pick up some rifles. Showstopper invested. Redux ignores the molly. And now off the recon from Caillou, you were hoping to get more information. The boombot will reveal someone around that back Jenny, and Satellite takes care. So Maryville are left with just Chlorg with a rifle, and Qbert this time in a Sheriff Thrifty.
At this point, it's just a matter of finding him, no?
Scam the spike, I guess. Oh, wait, one and not the second.
That's it.
Pacing up for Maryville, tried to beat the wall, but the wall's gonna beat them, and it's a Hunter's Fury to pierce through the stage and try to catch these defenders as Redux's Outlaw has something to say about Maryville's push, and it's really toe for toe. Maryville still have an advantage, but at what cost? Knights is gonna pillar up into the site, teleports in, gets a heads up play against Ange, and now unites with Satellite. For Maryville's turn, it's a Rolling Thunder invested, and it's just enough to seal the round for Maryville. All right, Hunter's Fury to try and dislodge the rats, to flush out Maryville. They got him dancing, but the front line, the bodyguards of Maryville are too strong on this crossfire. Cubert will eventually break through, and Maryville are very split from each other. Ange is good for one, but not the rest, and Cubert will be getting up to 11. I get into B.
And Giza going down in mid is already a thorn in their side for Maryville. It's honestly just like a falter in their plan because you wanted Giza to get a lot of value with it. Now they're fighting for Boba. They have lackluster weaponry. Let's see how they go.
Triple swing, and it's Ren's leading it. Redux quicker to the trigger, and it's a double kill. Cubert have a chance to get up to match point, series point. And it's not going to be a Maryville Thrifty today. And now you have to depend on being flawless from here on out. And you can't even force any repurchases, or they'll even extend, go past their own trip, changing the plans and changing the way Cubert approached this. It's a paranoia traded there by the showstopper. Redux flood in, and Cubert flood in through market. As Maryville try to split up, less at the front door to watch. Ren's with 3, looking for the ace. Nismo won't have a chance to res, maybe a second to do so. Redux is back into the fight, and that gives Redux the win, or just Cubert Academy the win through a bloodbath and domination on Lotus, ending here on Sunset.
And I'm not sure exactly for Maryville what the thought process was. I mean, I guess they were fighting for the chokes and making sure like, hey,